Weekend Manchester derby, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. As you can see, substitution for the hosts as a result, trying to change things up. Kirsty Hansen coming on and Jess Sigsworth departing. Sigsworth not really involved in her first WSL start, and Hansen was the player who departed to the bench based on the starting 11 in Manchester United's 1-0 victory over Arsenal. So it'll be a like-for-like swap, one change for United. I'll run through the team in just a moment in full. And Manchester City are unchanged. Chloe Kelly and Laura Coombs, the two goal scorers. Kelly on 8 minutes, Coombs a minute into added time. And as things stand, it's going to be a very tight top of the WSL table. Manchester United leading on 16 points. Arsenal and Chelsea to play later. Women's football weekend, Sunday, 2:30. That one is going to be a big game. And it looks like whoever wins that could go top. And for Arsenal, because of their goal difference, if Manchester United lose, a draw might be good enough. Everton, of course, are in the mix as well because they're on 13 points, just 3 shy of Manchester United. And we'll run through some of those permutations in terms of the table and points as we get to the close of this game. But that one change for Manchester United means now their 11 on the field is the same as the 11 that took to the field in that 1-0 victory over Arsenal. Earps in goal, Honor Batier, Amy Turner, the captain, who has looked a bit shaky at times, as Crest will go into the book here. Kristen Press, second booking of the game. Chloe Kelly has been yellow carded for Manchester City. The referee, incidentally, is Amy Fern. But Manchester United with Earps, like I say, Batier, Turner, Amy Turner, the captain, and Millie Turner alongside her. And Leah Galton, who thankfully is okay after picking up a late injury, which saw Chloe Kelly booked. Jackie Gruner and Hayley Ladd, the two central midfielders, mostly holding. Kirsty Hansen replacing Jess Sigsworth, Ella Toon, Tobin Heath, and Kristen Press, who, as I say, has just been booked. Kelly thought that she was in there again, but Bronze is going to be penalised for the foul on Tobin Heath, who is still moving a little stiffly, clutching the area just above her left knee. As for Manchester City, no changes at half-time. Ellie Roebuck, the young England keeper, between the sticks. Lucy Bronze, Steph Horton, Alex Greenwood, Demi Stokes across the back. Sam Lewis, Kira Walsh, and Laura Coombs, who has 2 now in the FA WSL in midfield. Chloe Kelly, Ellen White, Georgia Stanway up front. 4-3-3 for City, 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United. And you may notice behind the goal that those flags are a little bit more stationary now. The wind has died down. Horton, Manchester City's captain. Bronze. Press is trying to follow her surname and Press. And that may be a sign of things to come in the second half, whereas in the first half, Manchester City's back line were allowed quite a lot of time and space in possession. The likes of Horton very much used to almost ambling forwards at times, right into midfield. Horton in particular then loves to play those long diagonal balls. Manchester United, though, will perhaps be more intent on pressing from the front. Second goal means they are going to have to be more expansive, as the substitute Hansen immediately making an impact, and that's a dangerous looking ball. Horton making the key interception. One of those where, because you're facing goal, heart in mouth, because that left foot could have seen the ball fly in the back of the net, but instead it's harmlessly comparative to that scenario anyway, out for a corner. Press was certainly in had Horton not stretched those 6-foot legs of hers. Heath to deliver, Hansen and Ladd standing on the goal line. Millie Turner on the penalty spot. In truth, it's not the best delivery. And Coombs, the second goal scorer, will half clear. Batya tries to launch one back in. Galton. Manchester City have got their shape back now. Too strong for Hansen, who was sprinting down the right and now has switched sides. Another one of these versatile wide players at Manchester United's disposal. Hansen only 22. Won Scotland cap against Albania. That came in November 2019. She was actually born in Halifax, which is the least Scottish city, arguably, in the world, but her mum is Scottish. Ladd to Toon. Into a dangerous enough area, but Horton was under no pressure. Don't forget as well, from Manchester City's perspective, Rose Lavelle is on the bench. No need for her at the moment. But if City can maintain this breathing space, then maybe she'll get 20 minutes or so to stock up a few FA WSL minutes as she looks for her first goal in the FA WSL. Has scored a couple of goals in the League Cup. Heath to deliver. Toon with the deflected effort, and that will be a corner. That would have been interesting to see where the ball would have ended up had Lucy Bronze not stuck out her right foot. Could have just been creeping on target. But Manchester United doing what they did in the opening few minutes of the first half and dominating with the ball. Heath to deliver. Again, it's a little bit under hit, but she'll have a second opportunity. Coombs clears with press behind her. Heath goes over to that line of sanitised balls to find one for the corner. Will it prove a lucky ball for Manchester United, who need a goal here against the most experienced defensive line in the FA WSL. And eagle-eyed will see that that ball is arguably a few millimetres outside of the corner arc. In it comes, though, from Heath. And it was Galton arriving with speed at the back post. City taking no chances. Stokes was on the line. Manchester United, despite the goal, have made another change as well. Lauren James coming on for Kristen Press. One wonders whether that was a pre-arranged change before Heath's goal. Much like Coombs' strike, it was an absolutely ferocious finish by Heath. Deadly accuracy. Heath now has 2 goals and 2 assists in the FA WSL. Exactly what Casey Stoney wanted. perfect response from Manchester United. And now we've got a real game on our hands. 35 minutes to go at Leigh Sports Village as James was offside in the end, but the flag went up late. Toon. Manchester City with the bit between their teeth. James nearly through. That ball could have ran on to Toon. Takes a slightly unkind bounce and is a bit wider than Manchester United would have liked. Galton, though, finds Toon, but leaning back. The cross straight out of play. One assumes with the press substitution that she's injured because, of course, a few minutes or so earlier prior to the goal, she did have a collision and was seen clutching the area above the left knee. So it's very possible that that's a thigh injury or some form of dead leg that has forced Casey Stoney into a substitution because press couldn't run it off. James, though, a more than able replacement, only 19. Joined from Arsenal in 2018 and has 11 caps already and a goal for England under 19s. Did a lot of damage too in the FA Women's Championship a couple of seasons ago when she scored 14 goals. Quite a bit of talent in that James family, given that she's the younger sister of the Chelsea defender Reece James. Probably helped growing up to have one striker sibling and one defender sibling because they could practice in the garden without any kind of argument, both complementing each other's games. Two absolutely exceptional talents, and Lauren James will surely win multiple England caps. Mewis, Kelly. Mewis once more. Skipped through off Coombs. And Batja will foul Mewis, and Manchester City, the beneficiaries of a sloppy free kick given away by the Spaniard, who joined Manchester United from Levante. As soon as she went to ground, it looked obvious that she would get Mewis before the ball. And now a free kick in a really dangerous position as Manchester City look to restore their two-goal advantage. Alex Greenwood standing over the ball as ever. Horton is at the back post. Mewis is on the edge of the 6-yard area. Coombs and White at the near post. Kelly a couple of yards in front of the penalty spot. It's Greenwood to deliver. And it's away by Millie Turner. Bronze to Walsh. Galton, who is struggling with her movement following an injury of her own, but showed on that occasion that she's back to full speed. "30 minutes to go, women's football weekend." Bronze with the cross. And then Ellen White, first real meaningful opportunity, and she sliced it slightly, and that's why the ball didn't stay down. She was close enough to goal there that a firm hit on target would have in all likelihood caused Mary Earp some problems. Just took her eye off it, though. And as you can see, Gareth Taylor, the Manchester City manager, looking just a little bit concerned. Taylor himself replacing Nick Cushing in May 2020. Born in England, but 15 caps and a goal for Wales during his playing career. Mewis in a fair amount of space as well. Bronze slipped just at the key moment, and it was neither shot nor cross. Interestingly, with Gareth Taylor, when he moved to Manchester City in 1998, the fee there was 400,000 British pounds. Pernilla Harder, record signing in women's football to Chelsea, fee believed to be around 300,000. So even though it's impressive the talent that has come into the FA WSL, the fees are still some way behind. How long one wonders before we get the first £1 million female player. Some would argue that they exist and just haven't made transfers yet. Most would argue, though, that the top players in terms of value in the game, regardless of what financial figure you put on them, are the likes of Pernilla Harder, Lucy Bronze. Some would say Megan Rapinoe as well. And then there's young talents that, because of their age, may have higher value than, say, for example, the likes of Press and Heath, who are world-class players, but in their early 30s. And naturally, with longer-term transfers, that would affect value as well. Just whilst we have another lull in play, a reminder once again, Women's Football Weekend after this, Villa against Birmingham, Chris Slegg and Rachel Yankee, your commentary team. Everton, Reading, Paul Scott and Jane Ludlow. And Bristol City against Spurs, Michael McCann and Kelly Smith. Superb lineup of commentators and co-commentators. It's Heath, Manchester United's goal scorer. Galton on the ball now. Back with Millie Turner. Toon to Grunen. Heath looking to cut into the same position from where she scored the goal. Finds Lauren James, who's nimble-footed inside the area. James still going, and did amazing to even get the shot away. But just made contact with the top of the ball, and as a consequence, there was very little power on the final efforts towards goal. Got away, though, from Horton. And forced Ellie Roebuck into the save. Sunday's games for Women's Football Weekend. We start with West Ham against Brighton, Chris Sharples and Faye White. That's 12:30. 2:30, Arsenal against Chelsea. Big game, again, may have title ramifications. Even though we're in the early stages of the season with only 12 in the FA WSL, it means by now, because you assume the team that will go on to win the title may only lose a maximum of 2 or 3 games, all of these kind of matchups suddenly have extra pertinence compared to perhaps teams with more games to play across their seasons. Arsenal in second, Chelsea in third. Simon Watts is your commentator for that game. And then there is also a full programme in the FA Women's Championship. 2 games for you on FA Player. London Bees against Lewis and Sheffield United versus Durham. Both of them kicking off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Make sure that you stay tuned. Lewis have been a surprise package so far this season, and they're up there challenging at the moment. Sheffield United and Durham are also very much in contention to gain promotion to the FA WSL, along with Liverpool, who were relegated last season on points per game due to that curtailed season during the pandemic. just not clicking for Manchester City in the second half. Manchester United, though, deserve some credit because they are pressing higher up the field. A bit more intensity about winning the ball back in midfield too. Amy Turner out to that right-hand side. Hansen was the intended target. Not exactly the easiest stretch of fixtures this for Manchester City. They have another derby. We'll come back to that, though, in a moment, because here's Lauren James. Hit the ball cleanly enough, but it was always rising. Just loves to put her head down. Knows exactly where the goal is. Such quick acceleration, gets the ball out of her feet so fast. And that was another half chance, as a moment ago we just saw the substitute Kirsty Hansen wincing a little bit in pain. She appeared to be turning that neck. So maybe she's just picked up a slight tweak, which will be cause for concern for Casey Stoney, as will this, as Chloe Kelly fizzes one into a dangerous area, and it's almost turned in by Stanway. That's one of those where if you had away fans in the stadium at the far end, they'd have been cheering for a goal there, only to be mocked by the home supporters. Kelly's cross was so inviting, and Stanway did ever so well to make any kind of contact. Just couldn't quite guide it into the far left-hand corner. But as I was saying, Manchester City have another derby against Manchester United in the League Cup, and then they go away at Everton, home to Arsenal, and away at Birmingham City. None of those games are easy, although Birmingham a little bit weaker in current seasons than they have been historically. As Lauren James, excellent change of direction through the sea of blue. Heath wanted that left for her to hit, but James hangs on to the ball. Heath is in loads of space on the edge of the area. Instead, it's worked in by Hansen towards Toon. Horton again gets it away. So often right place, right time, the Manchester City captain. One of the best positional defenders in the FA WSL. "20 minutes stand between Manchester City and a big derby victory, the first in the WSL here at Leigh Sports Village. Tobin Heath, the goalscorer, is going to depart. So both of Manchester United's Americans not lasting the full 90 minutes. And Lucy Staniforth comes on. That will be another like-for-like swap. Staniforth, 28, 16 caps for England, and joined from Birmingham. Plenty of space for Gruenen. Hansen down the right-hand side. Toon is at the back post. Look at Hansen go. And she wins the corner in the end. This time it was Greenwood who was in the way. Lofted cross there, though, to the back post over Demi Stokes. Could have done some real damage. Toon was there at the back post, and Staniforth, the substitute, was at the near post in case the clearance fell to her. And now both the Turners are forwards. Amy Turner 4, Millie Turner 21. Hansen right in front of the goalkeeper. Manchester United looking for an equaliser. It's dangerous. Millie Turner was there, and that's blocked by Mewis. And an absolutely vital block as well. Millie Turner has scored one with a looping header against Tottenham, and that was almost a volley from just outside the 6-yard area. Such an important block by Mewis to protect Manchester City's lead. Roebuck is just being treated here as well. She appears to have landed awkwardly. She's getting her hands looked at, but she seems to be touching the right shoulder area. Naturally, even though the shot was blocked, she went down, and one can only assume that she landed awkwardly. I wonder whether Manchester United will just test that shoulder now by looping a corner in right over Roebuck's head. Hansen standing just in front of her. Turner. Kirsty Hansen, despite protestations, Amy Fern is having a look because Horton is down, but it looks like the goal will stand. And the league leaders are level in the Manchester derby. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 2. And it's now game on as both sides in the final 15 minutes of the opening game of women's football weekend will be gunning for a winner. So Casey Stoney's substitution at half-time paying dividend. Hansen's third goal in the FA WSL. And it's not too often that Manchester City women surrender a 2-goal lead. Ellen White is going to depart here for City. Had one opportunity that she volleyed over the bar. Janine Becky will replace her, so no sign yet of Rose Lavelle. Staniforth over the top, looking for James. Horton, some awkward back pass to Roebuck, but she's able to deal with it, had plenty of time in the end. Highly competitive derby, as we expected. Manchester United showing their bounce-back abilities so far. City dominant in the first half. All Manchester United in the second, bar a couple of City counter-attacks. One chance in particular for Stanway to kill off the game at 2-1. Did about as well as could be expected because it was a difficult cross. And under pressure, she stuck out a leg and nearly guided it into the far left-hand corner. Couldn't score, though. And Manchester United having knocked on the door repeatedly for the best part of half an hour so far in this second half, find themselves back level. And as things stand, they will extend their lead at the top of the FA WSL. A draw will give Arsenal the opportunity, though, if they beat Chelsea on Sunday, to return to the summit. Toon. Bronze had the pace. Brunen. Staniforth. Ball taken away from her from behind. Lewis was fouled, and the referee thought about playing an advantage because the ball found Stanway, but eventually blows up. As we see the goal scorer, Kirsty Hansen. She'll feel that she perhaps won the ball there, but she did slide in from the side, which is usually penalised. Mewis. Asking a lot of the substitute Becky, even with her fresh legs. Kira Walsh. Did well to manufacture any form of cross there, and now Bronze picks it up from the central position and is caught. Hayley Ladd giving away the free kick, so Manchester City with not only a bit of respite, but perhaps the opportunity for some of their big defenders to come forwards, and that's exactly what Horton, the captain, has done on the far left-hand side of the area at the moment. Greenwood, of course, won't be in the box because she tends to be the set-piece taker. As Bronze, after that challenge, is just holding on to the lower back area, and there's a few players now that have picked up niggles. In towards Horton, Mewis, Becky! And the substitute just pulling that wide. Second it left her boot, it didn't look like it was going to hit the target. If you are just joining us, we believe that Kristen Press has left the field injured. Firm challenge in the early part of the second half saw her fall awkwardly. Originally clutched the knee area, but then when she got up, she appeared to be rubbing the thigh just above it. It's the kind of thing, because she was left on the field, that may well have been a dead leg, and she tried to run it off and then couldn't, so was substituted. Lauren James replacing her, and at half-time Jess Sigsworth went off and Kirsty Hansen came on. Hansen is the hero at the moment for United in terms of this potential comeback. But United will want more than just a point. We certainly can't begrudge either side a point, because Manchester City were dominant in the first 45 minutes and Manchester United the better team in the second half. Amy Turner got there ahead of Coombs, who's going to be penalised for the high boot. Draw would leave Manchester City on 12 points, so they'd stay in 5th place, with Everton and Chelsea on 13, Arsenal on 15 and Manchester United on 17. That's if this stays 2-2. So then Arsenal, if they beat Chelsea, could go top. That's on Sunday, 2:30, part of Women's Football Weekend. All of the FA WSL games are staggered, so you including this one, you can actually watch all 6. Don't forget the FA Women's Championship as well. Staniforth on the ball for Manchester United. Ladd, Grunen. Space on the right-hand side. Battier in towards James, just a little bit too high for her. Horton was there once more. And again, had to make the clearance because James was in front of her and Toon was behind her. Manchester United have caused a fair amount of havoc with corners, particularly since Galton has started taking them. A couple of the press ones and Heath deliveries have been a little bit under hit, but Galton's whipped in dangerous balls such as that one, and Horton clears again. Battier gets there first. In towards Staniforth, but the cross is a bit short. Here's Ella Toon. No real shape about Manchester City all of a sudden. It's just a wave of red pushing forward. But the visitors are, of course, so dangerous on the counter-attack, and they will have an opportunity here. Chloe Kelly, the first goal scorer for Manchester City. City look like they're preparing a substitution. Staniforth spins away from Stanway. Out to Hansen on that right-hand side. He wins the battle this time against Demi Stokes and gets a throw-in for her reward. Laura Coombs is going to depart, having scored an excellent second goal right on the stroke of half-time that appeared to put Manchester City in full control. Caroline Weir will come on for her, so it is a slightly defensive change for Manchester City, and it also means no Rose Lavelle in this game, in all likelihood anyway. Weir will feel a little bit disappointed not to have started this match. And the same could be said for a number of players on the Manchester City bench, such as the talent at Gareth Taylor's disposal. Horton. Down the centre to Stanway. He turns away from James. Chloe Kelly. We're in an advanced position. Stanway can pull the trigger. Now Mewis. Block shot was a little bit close to Amy Toner's arm as well, although no real appeals for handball, and it wasn't a natural position. Horton with a second opportunity after James blocked the first. Janine Becky. Not the best delivery. And a waste from the substitute. Manchester City, though, starting just to get a bit more shape in the final third as they push for a late winner. No doubt that both sides want to win this and take maximum points. Draw, especially having led 2-0, of course, but regardless of that, a draw doesn't hugely help Manchester City in terms of narrowing the gap. 12 points, and Arsenal could potentially move to 18. 6 points and with Arsenal's superior goal difference, so it's as good as 7 at the moment. Ifs and buts, of course, because Chelsea will be absolutely no pushover as the reigning WSL champions. But in a worst-case scenario, the point is Manchester City could be quite far behind if this finishes 2-2. I said in all likelihood that we wouldn't see Rose Lavelle, and that still stands now, because it's Jess Park that's coming on for Georgia Stanway. Park has 2 goals in the FAWSL, only 19. An excellent record actually for England under 19s, having scored 12 goals in 13 caps. Staniforth sliding in well to continue this phase of the attack. And then James, that little bit hungrier, and wins Manchester United a very welcome free kick. Look out for the board as well in a moment, because we got a massive 4 minutes of added time in the first half, and it wouldn't at all surprise me if it's 5 or 6 to finish the second. So plenty of time for both sides to find a winner. Staniforth to deliver up towards Amy Turner. It's another corner on that right-hand side for Manchester United. You can see as well that Amy Turner has had treatment under that cut below the left eye that she sustained in the first half. A little bit of magic tape. She's good to go. Millie Turner also forwards. Hansen again standing right in front of Roebuck. 2 on the post for City. Greenwood on the near post, Stokes at the far post. Can Manchester United find a dramatic well to adjust her body to make sure that the ball didn't hit her hand? Roebuck looked beaten, and Stokes protects, for now at least, the point for Manchester City. And that corner wasn't the best delivery, but it's a bit of heart in mouth for the goalkeeper just because of the wind. And in the end, it was actually quite close. Staniforth with the header. And Stokes, right place, right time, but had the intelligence to just shift her body to make absolutely sure that it hit chest, not arm. Excellent defending. Manchester United, though, so close to finding a winner, as 4 minutes of added time has gone up. We are 30 seconds into it. Stokes now looking to kickstart something at the other end. Finds Kelly. Chloe Kelly pulls the trigger. She's very much capable of the spectacular, having scored a couple from that kind of distance last season for Everton. Just a great spectacle this for the FAWSL, the perfect way to kick off women's football weekend. Manchester City surging into that 2-goal lead. Manchester United fighting back, and Demi Stokes denying Lucy Staniforth late on into the final 2 minutes. United will naturally be happier with the point. And it definitely underlines their credentials as genuine title contenders, having beaten Arsenal 1-0 and then come back against another one of the favourites to potentially win the WSL crown this season. And ultimately, the point is a good result for Arsenal and Chelsea, who, as I've already said, play each other tomorrow at 2:30. Just a reminder, after this one, also 2:30, but today, Villa Birmingham. Rachel Yankee is our high-profile and illustrious guest summariser alongside Chris Slegg. Everton Reading with Paul Scott and Jane Ludlow, and Bristol City Spurs with Michael McCann and Kelly Smith rounding off Saturday of Women's Football Weekend. So do join us throughout the course of the day. Make sure that you engage with our social media as well. Send a picture of you in your favourite team's shirt if you own one. And tomorrow, West Ham, Brighton, Arsenal, Chelsea, and in the FA Women's Championship, London Bees against Lewis and Sheffield United versus Durham. All available on FA Player. 1 minute remaining. Perhaps one last chance for Manchester City here. Chloe Kelly trying to force her way into the area. Mewis will pick it up. This is Lucy Bronze. Lauren James putting Horton under pressure, who's gone down injured, and the full-time whistle will go. So no time for the free kick, and Manchester United with a big comeback to get a vital point against their City rivals here at Leigh Sports Village. City dominant in the first half. Opening goal from Chloe Kelly. She tried an audacious flick. The ball eventually fell back to her, and it was a poacher's finish. Right on the stroke of half-time, Laura Coombs firing in a firmly hit effort for 2-0, and it looked an uphill task for Manchester United. But Casey Stoney's side superb in the second half. Tobin Heath capitalising on an error in defence after City tried to play their way out the 6-yard area, and she, much like Coombs, fired the ball firmly into the top left-hand corner. And then substitute Kirsty Hansen, even though her first effort from close range after a corner was really well saved by Ellie Roebuck, she capitalised and prodded in the rebound. And then late on, Lucy Staniforth's header was cleared off the line by Demi Stokes, so Manchester United could have even taken all 3 points. But a point is a fair result, and Manchester United extend their lead, at least temporarily, at the top of the FA WSL. They move to 17 points, 2 clear of Arsenal. Full time at Leigh Sports Village in an entertaining derby. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 2.